Good evening everyone. I am Sameera. I am one of the founders of Liveroom. Let me give a brief introduction about our company. Liveroom is maybe we can say it as a company or a startup company specializing in these computer graphics and augmented reality and virtual reality, that kind of stuff. So today I'll be sharing my experience and my journey throughout past 1.5 year building up Liveroom, and we came from a one-person company to where we are today. And so I will be basically talking about start a business, not a startup. So that's the topic for today's discussion. When we started Liveroom we started Liveroom back in 2015 when we graduated. And actually when we graduated, we had this idea about creating this AR application to sell furniture and stuff. And so soon after we graduated, we went out of the university and we started working on our jobs. We got really good jobs in the industry, and then while working in the industry, me and the other co-founder Sameera, we started developing this AR app. And 6 months after the graduation, I quit the job and started working full time in Liveroom. And at that time, we were thinking about this doing this Liveroom application, and we were thinking about we are the next Zuckerbergs or the founders of Google. And we were really passionate about our product, and that time the idea was mind-blowing, and no one has ever tried augmented reality. Then that was a really trending and really great idea back then. And we were really passionate about what we were doing. And then we registered our company as Liveroom Private Limited. And we went to we kept on developing the Liveroom app from maybe 4 months. First 4 months we went without any revenue. We were basically spending our own money to build this thing. And we had no idea about how to market this, so whether this app has a marketing potential in in Sri Lanka or whatever in the region or globally. But we are really passionate about it. And during that time, and the other co-founder, the Sameera, he also joined Liveroom. So actually there was one intern, me and him, initially in the company. And then at that time we had this now 3 people working in the company, and there were no revenue coming in. So in order to keep the company funding, we thought why not get some investments. So we went on searching for investments, and I'm not sure whether fortunately we did not get any investments. So we could not convince any of the Sri Lankan investors to invest in our product. That's because maybe we were asking a huge chunk of money for just a small amount of the stake, and they were asking a large number of stake for a small amount of money. So we did not like that. So by the time we thought we discovered that we were really good in computer graphics. So me, myself, Sameera, and So we were really good in computer graphics. So at that time there were lots of software companies in Sri Lanka which specialized in like various other things like databases and maybe Oracle or something like that, CRMs and things like that, maybe middleware. But there were no single there wasn't any company in Sri Lanka specializing in computer graphics. The computer graphics means like these rendering engines and things like that. And so we saw a market potential there. Like why don't we do some services business with our product? So then we were able to so we were initially, like before joining Lightroom, we were working with for a Japanese company. So we talked to them and we were able to get some outsourced development work to the company. And then there was little bit cash flow coming into the company. And then so that's where one of the key change happened in the Lightroom. And so we started doing services. And the thing is, there were lots of debates inside the company whether we should move on or die hard do our product, or just deviate from the initial objective that we were focusing on, and then deviate a little bit from the initial target, and whether we should make this revenue positive. So that means since we did not have any investments and we really needed the money, so so we got some contracts. And then within the first year we were able to get few other contracts, and in the first year the revenue was really good. So we were able to hire eight people in the last year alone. And with the since the cash was coming into the company, we were able to invest in ourselves, in our company. We were able to invest in our own products. So at that time, we were still thinking that the augmented reality is a really cool technology, and but we could not find a right fit for that in Sri Lankan market. So we went into this virtual reality technology as well. And so in the virtual reality technology, and we found that there are several market opportunities in Sri Lanka. And with the VR technology, we were able to sell it to several local clients and several foreign clients. And so basically we created several VR platforms. Initially what we did was we created a content streaming platform for the augmented reality technology, and we were able to really quickly port it to this virtual reality technology. And at that point there was the real use case, there were people willing to pay for this stuff. But earlier there was a great product, but no one was willing to pay for it. So and with the initial the cash coming into the company, and so we were able to invest in ourselves. And then so we hired few people from our university and from our batch. And then from with them coming into the company, we were able to get actually really good projects, or really good more advanced projects from our foreign clients to the company. That was a really good revenue for the company. And then so my suggestion is that so there might be people watching so you might be thinking about starting a startup. So you might have a great product in your mind, but you would always have to think about the revenue. at the end of the day, the people, like the investors or the people, those who are going to, like, the business minded people, those who want to come into your business, like they just want they want to know how many rupees you can earn from this product. So that's the end of the story. If you can't tell like how you are going to monetize this, how you are going to sell this, you might have the best product in the world, like, but if you can't sell that one, then there's no point doing that. So one of my advice is like, if you are building a product, first try to like prepare a presentation and try to sell the presentation. So otherwise, like, building the product without even trying to sell it, it's useless. And then think about your company as like a separate entity. So what we are doing is like, our company is a separate entity, and so we work as the employees to that entity, and by doing that, that means like most of the people think about their startups as like their own. That means it's like they think it like as my precious thing, like some kind of like most of the people treat their business as their girlfriend. So don't treat your business as your girlfriend. That means like, you must, when you are doing a business, you must be ready to let it go at any time. That means like, when hard times comes and when there is no revenue coming in, like, you must be ready to let it go, or switch the path, or like do some dramatic changes in the business. So be ready to do that. And then I will be talking about so from that moment onwards, up to now, we have been working on the VR platform, and like, I'm proud to say that we were able to sell it to 5 clients locally and internationally. And so like, in the queue, like, there are lots of requirements, and these for our VR platform is pending on the way. And like, so we have been getting a really good revenue from the VR platform. And then like, if we like, maybe 1 year ago, when we changed our path, like abandon this AR product and move on to VR, and then like, if we did not do that by that time, and we did not start doing services in this computer graphics domain, there would not be any a company to run this live room platform. So the main thing is like, so now we have 10 employees working in, and then there will be 2 more joining from this month. So you have to have a positive revenue stream to actually pay your employees. So when you are doing a startup, you always have to like calculate these kind of things, and then like, plan for the finances. Like, most of the people, those who are doing startup, they forget about finances, and like like, in the that's what there's this fancy name for a small business called startup. But at the core of a startup, there should be a business. Like, for an example, it's okay if you don't generate any revenue in the first year or the second or the first in the first year, but you have to learn from the past, and you have to think about revenue generation. The revenue is the main thing that keeps your company going, and keep your company going, and where you can pay the employees, and then you can invest in new products, new in the company. And in a successful company, there might be hundreds of failed products, but one day you will find that the right product which will make your company global. There are scenarios like the Facebook, Google. They found their successful product at the first time, but that's not the case for the most of other companies. Then I will talk about our plan for the next year. So we will be investing heavily in this computer graphics and the AR VR domain, and so we are planning to hire up to 20 people by the end of this year. So that's one of our targets actually, like to build a 20 people company by end of 2017. And so keep a plan like that. Think about the revenue. Actually, that's the most important. For me, that's one of the most important thing in a startup or as in a business, because we don't do business to like for fun. So the core idea of a business is to generate revenue. So that's the main thing that that's one of the main thing that is missing I have seen that's missing in startup co-founders or the startup founders. And then I will do a small wrap up of what I have said. So I will not talk about much of things, because I'm not a really good speaker, or like I'm not really good giving speeches or advices. So I have shared my experience, and I will do a small wrap up. Always think about how you are going to make your company revenue positive, and then always think about how much money you need to like pay for the employees, and how you are going to make it in the next year or the next 6 months, and plan for that. And then what we do is like then really like invest. When the revenue is coming in, invest in several products. So we have at the current moment we have invested in three of our products, and like one of the VR product, it's really successful at the moment. And so we will be so other things, like we are planning to make them successful. We don't know whether it will get successful or not, so keep mind on that. Invest your own money in your startup, and that's so we have been bootstrapping since the day one, and we were thinking about getting investments, but we did not get any investments there, so we had to bootstrap. So actually the bootstrapping is not a bad thing, like by bootstrapping you will learn lots of things, like how to do a proper business and things like that. So if you are doing a startup, and if you are eagerly waiting for investments, and then like if you are at the edge of giving up your startup because you don't have investments, think about that. You can bootstrap always. And so that's the things. That's all the things I have to say. Hope you have a few more questions. So I'll be waiting here around 15 more minutes to answer your questions. So you can type in the comments below if you have any questions. So that's it. so the Sustainable Education Foundation has asked, are there other possible business ventures in the AR field for a startup? Yes, of course, there are lots of AR stuff in this business. For an example, I can say so the augmented reality is a huge field, and it can be applied in various other domains. And so I will give you an idea about like an AR product what already have in my mind. It's an app or either platform for preventive maintenance. That means or maintenance. For an example, you might not know how to change the toner of your printer, but so if you want to learn it yourself, that's hard work. Like you have to read a manual or you have to either watch a video. But you can build an app in AR. Like you just point your device to your printer, and then it visually shows all the steps that you need to do to change the toner. So I have given you a possible business venture in the AR field for another startup. So if someone is planning to do that kind of thing, like I believe that there is a market for that. And who is your role model and how she has motivated you? So I have been talking to several startup guys in Sri Lanka. For an example, you might know this Lashanaya from Enhancer and this Tarindoya from Tarindoya from I don't remember the name, like that SMS. Oh shit. Okay, then I don't remember the names, so maybe because of the pressure. And so I have been talking to several like you can talk to other several co-founders in the Sri Lankan startup. Like people have built several good startups in Sri Lanka. For an example, Kirti from this Effective Solutions. So he was a really good entrepreneur from our university and our batch. So he has been working on his startup from the second semester onwards. But we started when we graduated. So he has moved on lots of way. He's far ahead than us. So he's one of the role models. And then we have this. So he's one of the role models, and so I will move on to the next question. And what is the turning point in your business? The turning point is that we ran out of cash. So that was the turning point. That means so how do you survive next month? That was one of the turning points. So when you don't have cash and you have employees to pay, so that becomes a turning point. And then you said about going to recruit people. What sort of positions would be opening up? So So we have a position for a business analyst and a front-end developer. So those are the two positions that we have. And so all started without any market or requirement analysis, purely based on innovative idea. Yeah, we did that and we messed it up. So for the first 6 months or the first 8 months, we were just doing we were dreaming. We did not do any analysis, or we did not do any market research, or we did not even try to convince, or we did not even try to talk to other people, because we thought that they might steal our idea. So that's where all went wrong. And but fortunately some good things happened to us, and now we have good cash flow and good company up and running, we can invest in ourselves, and we can keep going on. Any other questions? Do you have competitors? Yeah, in Sri Lanka, we can say that Arimac is a competitor of us, so definitely. And then apart from Arimac, we don't have any competitors in Sri Lanka, because in the computer graphics industry, there are no competitors as far as I know in Sri Lanka. But they are more into gaming, and we are more into these other stuff. So like architecture visualization, and the we do rendering engine development, and we do the computer vision stuff for quality assurance and things like that, and we do these like what do augmented human stuff. So if you are given a chance to do the business again, how would you do it? What I would do is like, given a chance, like, I would say like, what I would do, I would not waste the initial 6 months. So for an example, if I was given the chance again to start up again, I would start it from the first year or the second year when I was in the university. So actually I wasted lots of time in the university without doing anything, and like we had to wait. I waited until I graduated to start a business. So if I had started it during the university time, during the second semester or the third semester, like we did not have 12 employees, but if we have come up with the rate that we have been accelerating, and so we would have around 100 employees by now. So if we had started back in 2011, so I would, if I have another chance, I would start the company back in 2011. So we have, what are your views on Sri Lankan startup incubators? Do you find them trustworthy? I think this John Keel's X is a really good opportunity if you are going to, like if you have really good idea, and like if you really need money, like you can try one of those incubators, and I think John Keel's X is a good thing. And apart from that, I have not talked to this Lankan Angel Network people, and then I think they are trustworthy, but like I don't have any insights to like the process and things like that, because I have never tried those things. And what are the recommendations, advice that you like to give for new people who like to do startup, willing to do startup? Start as soon as possible. Like if you are thinking about a startup and you are already in the university, don't wait until you graduate. Start up as soon as possible, so then you can have lots of failures, and then by the time you graduate, you can be a successful entrepreneur. And then yeah, that's it. And any other questions? Do you think hackathons are inefficient compared to incubators? I can't say, because I have never been to a hackathon or an incubator, so I don't know the answer to that. I think hackathons are for that. I don't know. I can't answer that question. So. So I'm waiting for the questions like if. Okay then. So since there are no more questions, I will be stopping by now. Keep in mind, if you are doing a startup, start it as soon as possible, and the day you keep thinking about it, it's a waste. So don't keep on thinking, start doing it, and then think about your startup as a business and keep it separately, and then don't treat your business as your girlfriend, like keep it separately, and then think about how to earn money with your startup. So those are the things that I have to say to you, all of you. Thank you very much for joining. Bye bye, and I would thank Akshika from this for giving this opportunity, and thank you Akshika, and that's it. See you. Bye.